YTBC. This is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. And guys, I want to talk about, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, man. I want to talk about a couple of guys. I'm going in, man. I'm going in. You know, I could have sworn. Well, first of all, Errol Spence, he say, he probably gonna fight, in December. He say definitely fighting before the year's out. And I can't wait to see who he gonna fight. However, we don't know who his opponent gonna be because all the top guys are ducking Errol Spence. Okay? All the top guys. Yeah, Keith Thurman. I'm talking about you, Keith, one-time Thurman. And you the one I'm finna get on the most in this, but Keith Thurman, you got some explaining to do. Because you said that if Errol Spence could beat somebody in the top 10 contender, then, hey, y'all can talk. Ain't nobody heard nothing out of Keith Thurman. Okay? I ain't heard nothing out of Keith Thurman. It's almost like, you could hear an ant pissing in a field of cotton before Keith Thurman say something. Where you been, Keith Thurman? Where have you been? Okay? Ain't nobody heard from Keith Thurman. APB. All points bulletin out for one Keith, one-time Thurman. He call himself one time. I can't find him no time. Keith, where you at, man? Because you talk a lot of junk, Keith Thurman. You talk a lot of junk. And Errol Spence been calling you out. But see, Errol Spence, let me tell you what you got to do, man. And I've been telling you this, Errol Spence. You got to listen to me on this, man. You got to call Keith Thurman out in ways that he ain't never been called out. Look, if Keith Thurman give an interview, you got to rebuttal that interview. If Keith Thurman have a fight, you got to go to the fight. You got to get Earslandi Laura on Keith Thurman and get up on the stage and call him out, like Laura did Canelo. You got to talk about Keith Thurman, mom. You got to talk about his granddaddy. You got to talk about anything you can to get him in that ring, Errol Spence. You need to talk about the great-granddaddy Thurman with the glass eye. You need to talk about all these dudes to get him in the ring, Errol. You're going to have to insult Keith Thurman manhood. Because, see, Keith Thurman talked all that junk, and we can't find him. Every time you doing an interview, you got to call out Keith Thurman. And you got to talk junk to get him in the ring. But, Errol Spence, if you get him in the ring, I already picked you to win that fight. Or I picked you to win the fight. Okay? Definitely. Now, here's what I'm saying. And look at all these other guys who won't fight Errol Spence. Amir Khan ain't going to fight him. And Khan fans, don't come on here acting crazy. Because I have no beef with Khan right now. Khan is moving on. He has finally gotten off of the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. He's finally gotten off their testicles. Finally, Khan. I can be happy. But Khan ain't going to take that risk against Errol Spence. It's just not going to happen. That's just the way that is. Marcos Maidana. Where you at, man? Where you at? I mean, you need to get in there with Errol Spence. Come on, man. Good stepping stone for you, right? Right? And Showtime Sean Porter. As much junk as your daddy talk about everybody in boxing, you would think that you would jump at that opportunity, right? Come on, Kenny Porter. What you got to say about this? What about a fight with you and Errol Spence? And don't say it don't make financial sense, Kenny Porter. We know that you're going to say that. But Kenny Porter, we know deep down in your spirit, son. Deep down in your spirit, you know that Errol Spence is just that good. Okay? What about you, Danny Garcia, Danny Swift? Well, Danny, you ain't swift to get in the ring with Errol Spence, are you? I mean, I'm telling you, man. You can make all the rap videos you want to, Danny Swift Garcia. You can talk about how who was that? You talking about ran from you in a fight? You can say all that stuff. But Danny Garcia, you cannot ride soccer your way to the top, okay? Now, you got beat by Mauricio Herrera, okay? You got beat by Lamont Peterson, Danny Garcia, and they beat you. It ain't going to show up on your resume, but they beat you, and you know they beat you, okay? How about giving Errol Spence a shot at you, man? Errol Spence will probably drop down and even fight you, man. Oh, no. I'm sorry. He ain't got to drop down. You at 147 now. Get in the ring with Errol Spence. Come on. I mean, Angel Garcia? Come on, man. Let's talk some junk. He didn't lose. He didn't lose. You know he didn't lose. Okay, if he didn't lose, get in the ring with Errol Spence, okay? Get in the ring with Errol Spence, okay? What about you? What about you, Saddam Ali? I mean, man, come on, man. I'm sick and tired of all these guys in 147. And you notice none of the guys that I mentioned, none of these guys fought each other. I mean, come on, these guys, they've been around the welterweight division now, probably with the exception of Danny Garcia, for about a couple of years now, and ain't none of these guys fought each other. They've been talking about Thurman and Porter for so long, that fight never materialized. I mean, man, are you freaking kidding me? Like, man, what really is going on? And I mean, what is up with all these promoters and these fighters and these managers trying to protect these fighters, man? These guys need to get it on, and they need to fight. And all of these guys that I named, they are ducking Errol Spence. And that's just the way that is. It's just the way that is. Okay? All right. And, and somebody even said, well, Shane Mosley ain't fighting him. Forget Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley, Shane Mosley, 45 years old. What is Shane Mosley going to do against Errol Spence besides get destroyed? Okay, come on, man. I'm not trying to hear that. Money involved, my behind. Look, one of you guys need to get in the ring. You need to get in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. Okay? Need to get in the ring. Okay? And then, I don't know. Maybe, okay? We'll see. We'll see what happens, okay? I wouldn't even mind saying, hey, maybe would Manny Pacquiao fight Errol Spence? I doubt it. He ain't gonna fight Errol Spence, okay? And I'm hoping Manny Pacquiao going to fight Terrence Crawford, but we probably ain't gonna get that fight either, okay? Knowing Manny Pacquiao, it'll be a Manny Pacquiao type of move to go fight somebody. And Lucas Matisse, that's a Manny Pacquiao move. Go fight Lucas Matisse, the guy that just got beat up, got knocked out in his last win. Okay, yeah, let's go fight that guy. Yeah, that's a Manny Pacquiao type of move. Okay? And all you Pacquiao fanboys, you know it's correct. Now Pacquiao does get in the ring. If he gets in the ring, okay, I'm cool with that, okay? I'm cool with that. Or you know what? Maybe. Maybe, and I'm looking at this article, they're talking about, hey, maybe Andre Berto gets stopped by Errol Spence. Okay? Berto, I like you, man, but if you face Errol Spence, man, that might be your last fight. That might be the end of your career because you might get so brutally knocked out, Andre Berto. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, you might start seeing stars. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just telling y'all. All these guys are ducking Errol Spence. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Be forced to fight Errol Spence. They're going to be forced to fight him. And I'm going to tell you, where you at? Where you at? Come on, Marcos Maidana. Step up to the plate. But the person that I'm on the most is Keith One-Time Thurman. Because Keith One-Time Thurman talked the most junk. And now you can't hear a peep out of Keith Thurman. Ever since Errol Spence won his fight against Chris Van Herten, I ain't heard nothing out of Keith Thurman. I ain't heard no interview. Maybe I ain't been looking hard enough. Keith Thurman, you're ducking Errol Spence. I don't care what any of you fanboys come on here and say. You can come on here and you can disagree, and that's fine, because if you're going to disagree, then I want you to prove to me that Keith Thurman is not ducking this man. Okay? Prove to me. Keith One-Time Thurman is ducking Errol Spence Jr., and he going to continue to duck Errol Spence Jr. I guarantee you. I hope that Errol Spence gets somebody in the top 5 his next fight. I hope he do. Because if he do, and he going to beat him, and when he beat him, what are you going to say then, Keith Thurman? What are you going to say then? What excuse are you going to make next, Keith Thurman? But I'm sick and tired of all these guys, man. I mean, the only two people in that group that I mentioned is Amir Khan and Marcos Maidana. They fought each other. Amir Khan and Danny Garcia fought each other, okay? I mean, they fought each other. But what about the rest of these guys, man? What about Porter? I would love to see Porter Garcia. I would love to see Porter and Maidana. I would love to see Spence and Maidana. I mean, it's so many different matchups that could probably be made, but guess what? We ain't going to get to see them because everybody is protecting their investments. That's what it is in the sport of boxing. Everybody protects their investments, okay? We can't let none of them fight. Spence, you're probably going to have to move up, man, because none of these guys, I'm telling you, Amir Khan, Maidana, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, okay, Saddam Ali, they not going to fight you, man. They not going to fight you. Won't you move up and just stay a permanent 154-pounder, man? Stay there. You got some competition up there in 154, and heck, If 154 they don't even push, man. Maybe eventually, some point in your career, Errol Spence, you may have to go to 160 because don't none of these sissified dudes that I just called out, and I call all of y'all out, don't want to fight you. Okay? They don't want to fight you. And that's just the way that is. Errol Spence, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing because you're going to be the next great star. Okay, boxing is on the rise. We got some future stars. We got Terrence Crawford pulling up through the ranks. Okay, we got Errol Spence Jr. pulling up through the ranks. We got Vasyl Lomachenko. Okay, I ain't going to say Guillermo Rigondeaux because he's kind of up there in age and, probably going to be, a little bit before his career, he'll be over. But, guys, we got some up-and-coming stars in the sport of boxing. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done.